Well, my first guest has been on our TV screens for over 25 years. He doesn't look it. He's a comedian, he's a quiz show host, he's an actor, reality TV star, and about to appear in the new BBC drama, New Street Law. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to welcome Les Dennis. Good to see you. Sit down, my friend. Sit down.
Put a tie on for you.
Excellent,
especially.
excellent. I often feel that I'm wasting my time getting dressed up myself. The kind of scruffs that come on here. Now, you started your TV career with Russ Abbott.
Yes, I did, yeah.
When was that, all those times?
That was about 1982 in Russ Abbott's Madhouse,
Yeah.
which was a great show. I mean, when you think of the team that was in that show, there was Bella Emberg, Dustin Gee, who I partnered for a while, and there was Michael Barrymore, Susie Blake, Sherry Houston, and Jeffrey Holland. It was a great team, and we were all starting off then.
Yeah.
It was great. I remember once being on a train with Michael Barrymore, and Dustin. And there was this guy, kind of in a pinstripe suit, city gent, sat here on the tube train, reading the Times with the bowler hat on and the kind of umbrella. And Michael, I could see this twinkle in his eye. We got to Leicester Square, and he went, "Right, that's it. That's your stop. You're off." And he pushed him out the door. He just picked him up and threw him out the way he used to in his act. You know, he used to kind of throw people out there in the audience. But he decided to do it on a train. That's it. And we saw this bloke with his bowler hat kind of banging on the door like, "Let me back on." Typical Michael.
You were talking about Dustin Gee,
Yeah.
who you had a very successful double act with, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
suddenly the unfortunate Dustin just passed away.
Yeah, it was a very, you know, people remember it, and I think it's fantastic that they remember so fondly that partnership, because it was only a couple of years that we were a double act. But he was great fun, great to work with. And the idea of putting two impressionists together, I think it was the first time anybody had done it. The producer, John K. Cooper of Madhouse, had seen the idea of Mavis and Vera being partners in some sketches. And if you think about it, Mavis and Vera on the street were never kind of friends, but we made them kind of friends. We had the Mavis sitting there like that, and, "Hey, you all right, kid?" It just worked.
Yeah.
It was great.
You had the extremely hard task of following that terrible night when Tommy Cooper passed away on stage.
Yeah.
But were you aware of that? I mean,
It was live telly, as you know, and I think that the thing with Tommy is, as you will have known, that he made you laugh, and he would do different things all the time. And the rehearsal was never the same twice. So on the night, he was wearing this huge cloak to pull all the props through, and he had the tabs behind him. And so when he fell down, the audience, I remember, kind of laughed. And I think people said at home they laughed and wondered, you know, what is he doing? And I was in the wings with David Bell, the producer, and Dustin and Tommy Jr., Tommy's son. And David coolly turned around and said, "Is that a joke?" And Tommy said, "No, my dad has a bad back. He'd never be able to get up from that." So David Bell just said, "Cue commercial break, cue music." And they went into commercial break. Jimmy was on stage, who absolutely adored Tommy, Jimmy Tarbuck. And there was a kind of little conversation going on stage. The paramedics came running in, and they pulled him behind the curtains. And we thought, well, the show will just close now. They'll put something else on. And then they turned to us and said, "Are you ready to go on?" And Dustin and I had to go on live telly and kind of hold the fort, really, which was... you know, people say, "Well, you're nervous." We weren't, because suddenly the nerves that we would have had are taken away because something bigger is going on behind, you know?
And did Dustin then pass away again on stage?
He did, and 2.5 years later, we were working in Panto. Don't work with me.
It's okay, we're near the end of the series.
We were working in Southport, and Dustin, he knew he was on borrowed time because he had a heart condition. And he'd actually said that night that Tommy went, he said, "That's the way I'd like to go." And bless him, a couple of years later in Panto, he came off stage, collapsed in a dressing room, and was revived and taken to hospital and died a couple of days later.
You were on your own then,
yeah,
I mean, which was hard, but you did manage to pick yourself up and carry on. I mean, when you appeared with me in 1833, I think. 1991, not that long ago. You were hosting Family Fortunes.
Okay, let's have a look. actually, one of the questions once was, name a man on television, an Irishman on television, popular Irishman on television. And the first guy said, Des O'Connor. And I had to not laugh. That's again, you have to not laugh. And the second one said, Tom O'Connor. The third one said, Trevor McDonald.
Come on.
I'm telling you, honestly. And the fourth one said, Shuey McPhee. No, Shuey McPhee.
In Crossroads.
For Crossroads. They just got a blank on it. And your name wasn't mentioned. You were top of the list, but you weren't mentioned.
Just shows you. You're not as famous as you think you are. You see, it's true. I still think that's true, that for most people, television is just something that goes by them as they're sitting there having a cup of tea or whatever. So they don't know who anybody is. No, trust me.
But that was the secret of the show, you know, the silly answers that we got.
But that was really motivated in the main by panic, wasn't it? And the fact that you asked the question
Absolutely.
quickly.
I think
people were thinking.
The weirdest one was, you know, when you get down the line and people are thinking, oh, well, you know, we've had so many answers. That's okay, you come up with a silly answer. But it was the guy at the lockout, this young lad, and the question was, name something associated with Dracula. What would you think? You kind of think...
Yeah, teeth.
Teeth? I think it's the teeth.
Blood.
Blood, garlic, that kind of thing. He banged straight away and said, Bob Monkhouse. To this day, I haven't got a clue. That, and name a famous TV soap, Dove.
Is that true?
Is that true? My favourite, I think, because it was a good answer, was name a bird with a long neck, and the bloke said Naomi Campbell.
Just stay with me. You're about to appear in New Street Law.
Yeah.
Serious acting, is that where you're going?
I'm doing more of it, and I think after shows like Extras, even though I was playing myself in that, it's an acting role, and in fact, it's harder to play yourself than it is to play a character. So New Street Law is nice, and it's a little bit of typecasting in the sense that I play Kenny Logan, prime-time television entertainer who gets himself into a bit of bother, you know, and has to be defended by John Thompson's character. And it was great to do scenes with John. And John Hannah's in it, and Lisa Faulkner and Paul Freeman. It's a lovely series. I think it's going to be great. So I had a ball doing it.
We look forward to that. Was it, research shows, as they say, that it was your ex-wife, Amanda Holden, that encouraged you to go into acting?
Well, actually, I'd acted before I'd met Amanda. In fact, I was acting in a play when I met Amanda. I was doing Don't Dress for Dinner with Lionel Blair and Sue Pollard. But she certainly encouraged me to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you still on good terms with her?
Yeah, we're still good friends. Yeah, and she's just had a baby, and it's fantastic. Her and Chris have just had a baby.
Have you any regrets about how it all ended?
Not
at
all.
It ended badly, didn't it?
Well, it ended. The thing is, when a marriage ends, it's bad enough anyway. But when you've got that public spotlight on it, you know, that's the hardest thing. When you're actually walking down the street and kind of like every time, my dogs were more photographed than anybody. But then anybody, they're like celebrity dogs. They were every time. It was Les takes dogs for a walk again, and you get the guy who's got the camera, and he wants to get you looking miserable. You know, so you're walking along with and he's right here with the and the dog's having a wee, and you're thinking, don't do anything. Then the dog sits down, and you're thinking, oh, I've got to poop a scoop. So then they get you that shot. So that's what's the hardest thing, you know. Amanda and I, you know, were going through it, and we had 10 years together, and we had really good times. But they want to do that, you know, the good guy, the bad girl, all that stuff. So, you know, with hindsight now, you can look back and, as in Extras, laugh at the whole thing and take the mickey.
Are you happy with life at the moment?
Absolutely great. Yeah, really great.
Good for you.
Cheers, man.
Good luck with everything you do. We wish you success.
Thank you very much.
Les Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry. That was lovely.